over here from Russell's Coffee Garage.
I have this 1976 Husky I just picked up.
CR250, and I started tearing into this. It wasn't running. This came from Las Cruces. A good buddy of mine from Team Furburger named Andy DeLo was able to hook me up with this bike. And the first thing I did was try and kick it over, and I couldn't get it to run. And I started to kind of work on other things as I was going to work on the mechanics. And the first things I did was rebuilt the forks because these were totally shot, no oil in them whatsoever. New boots. The next thing that I've been kind of working on is my carb setup. And this was the original Bing. Now these Bing carbs are pretty simple. You just have a pump, an idle adjustment basically, and that's pretty much your air intake adjustment, and it's a very simple carb. The other thing that I need to do is I'm going to go ahead and take off the tailpipe. This bike probably hasn't ran, I would say, in about 3 or 4 years. So there's a lot of buildup in this bike. And I'm going to go ahead and take off this pipe, look through it, try and get all the soot out of it, get that thing kind of cleaned out, drain the oil, put fresh oil in there, put fresh gas. Got some fresh fuel line. This stuff is more flexible, nice and easy to work with. Got one of these smaller fuel filters on here that I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with the Mikuni, again, the Mikuni carb with the Uni AirPod. Redo the manifold here, and then hopefully this thing is going to fire up and run like a top. Stay tuned for the next thing, which will be the carburetor and the fuel line, and then hopefully the start of this bike.
Howdy, my name's Tom Andresian, Los Lunas. I'm an old motorcycle nut. I got a call recently from Steven at Russell's Gold, and he is working on an interesting new project, Bultaco off-road bike that he's hoping to ride in the annual Biltwell 100 off-road race in California next spring. He called me and asked me to look at his project and kind of talk about the possibilities, what he might build, how he could put it together, where we could find parts, and what my thoughts were on all of that. We're going to see where this goes. It may take a few months to kind of congeal into a working project, but I'm interested to see what his vision is, hopefully give him some good advice and not baloney, which I'm also famous for. Look at that.
All right, here it is.
Wow, what potential.
That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping.
Boy, you need a few parts though.
I need a lot of parts. Like I told you, the motor I had got from a gentleman that had inherited Tom Patton's old motocross motor.
Right.
I think it's a 360. That's what he thought it was.
Right.
And then you recognize this.
Right.
That's the frame I got from you.
Right.
What do you think? You know, I sent you some serial numbers for this.
Lots of potential. This, based on what you sent me, this seems to be a 350 1974 Pursang engine. We need to pull the head off and measure the cylinder to confirm that.
Okay.
But the more we discover about this, it'll tell us what the next steps might be. Obviously, you want to find out if the engine is sound and operating. If you need other parts for it, you can start making decisions about all the pieces you want. Mm-hmm. But a lot of this is based on what you're going to do with this and what your goals are.
What do you think about this carburetor?
Looks like the stock carburetor. It looks unmodified. It'll probably work fine, but I do think replacing it with a Mikuni would probably start easier. But I do think good sound basis,
yeah,
and you ought to have fun with this. It's about the right size.
I'm excited.
Yeah, you should be.
I got to catch up to Thaison though. I think he's almost got the Husky running. So well, I had not been in a hurry because that thing has not run for like a year and a half.
Oh,
and now I think he's close. It might be running, so now I got to scramble to get this thing up and running.
I was getting some issues with this. I couldn't get this to really choke out or, you know, get the right mixture. And it was kind of tricky to get needles and stuff like that for these old carbs.
If it pops, that's all we want. It may take 10 kicks to make it pop. We're done.
That's awesome.